now we're kind of going through the progression of teaching guys how to move in the pocket. So, we go through the bags in large part that we do the bags every Tuesday, every single Tuesday. We're going to go through the bags, run through the bags, ball security, moving in the pocket a little bit. That's just a great way for us. Tuesday's our first big practice of the week. We're in pads. That's how we're going to start off Tuesday. But if I have a young man, a freshman, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put him into what we call progressive pocket. And it's basically different pocket. We're progressing through the different movements you need to make from within the pocket. And I am the stimulus. I'm doing kind of what you saw earlier. I am moving them one way or the other. And I'm able to focus on their feet and focus on what they're doing. They don't have to rely on, reading a defender. I'm able to concentrate and get them to concentrate really on just moving in the pocket. I think I see too many drills or I see coaches with drills that, hey, you got to focus on this and focus on this. And, there's studies that, your mind can only handle so many things at once. And, so it used to be 7. Now they're saying it's down to maybe even 4 things at one time. Well, if I'm trying to get you to really concentrate on one aspect in a drill, I can't give them 5 or 6 things. So there's no rush here. I am giving them movement keys. And the first time we're going to go through it is I'm just going to move them 2 times, maybe 3 times, and they're going to make a throw. So they're going to take just a base drop, move, throw. And all the thing, back foot first if we can. All right, small, subtle movements. Find the middle of the pocket. Bang, small, subtle movement. This is almost identical to the throw that we just saw him make, except for he threw it to the left in the drill. Bang, small, subtle movement, just to find the middle of the pocket, maximize my space. Good throw right under the chin. Here's another one off of a heavy play action where we're showing quarterback run, come back. And from this angle, you can see it's just a little, but it gets him back towards the middle of the pocket, avoids this rush. All right, doesn't get, if he took a big step to his right, this defender might hit him. But and then just drops a dime on a seam route. But small, subtle movements to maximize my space. Bang. Just get out of the way. Don't move so far to the right that you get hit. Get it off. And then, like I said, great throw. So then the next thing, after they've done that once or twice, now I'm going to have them escape out the back door and then set up. So some coaching points here is I want them, this is for when the edge rusher generally, who should be going at the back shoulder of the quarterback, kind of gets excited or whatever and goes for the front shoulder. All right, so I want to work on going out the back door. I don't want them to spin and come out this way. I want them to get a little bit of depth, all right? Because, these edge rushers a lot of times are pretty athletic and can redirect. So I want to come out the back door for a couple steps. That's really good right there. And then I want to set up and make the throw. yes, we got to be able to make throws on the run. But if I've got a throw that I can make with getting my feet underneath me, generally I'm going to be a more accurate passer. And a thing that I look for is back foot in the ground throw. I don't want a back foot in the ground +1 or back foot in the ground and hitch forward. Now, that's a quarterback at our level. If you're coaching freshmen in high school, they might not be able to make that type of throw without hitching. But that's what I'd like to do. And a nice job, bang, back foot in the ground, make the throw. Former DB here, that's why he was a DB.
Right.
But, to example, he was a former DB, came over, and I took him as a quarterback. And he's what I said earlier about if you're a young coach and you can coach on the other side of the ball, what a great thing that is.
Absolutely.
So here we got a little pressure, so here move in the pocket, small subtle movements, out the back, set up, and throw. Kind of make something out of nothing there. And then here's we're boot. He ends up pulling up, back foot in the ground, throw. So obviously we're not going out the back door here.
No, but I think the emphasis on getting that foot in the ground, so we don't get smacked in the mouth is so important. I think there's a lot of guys that don't want to set up and want to throw on the run when they don't really need to. And if you can coach this and coach this effectively, you're going to be more accurate in your passing game, and you're not going to get popped in the mouth. So
no question. And I think especially going to your left, to get around, get your shoulders around and make that throw. So now the same thing, moving in the pocket, excuse me. And now we're going to make the throw on the run. Just gives us another opportunity to make some throws on the run. This is a great example of getting out the back door. You can see, this is a good safety. And he goes out the back door and he's not able to make the play. If he would have just turned here and gone straight this way, it'd have been a sack. But because he goes out the back door, he's able to get away. And then, that is identical to the throw he just made in the drill.
No, absolutely. Now, how do you like to teach the shoulders when you're throwing on the run? Obviously, how do you like to how are you coaching where his shoulder should be while you're on the move?
If I'm a right-handed thrower and I'm rolling to my left, I'm really going to work on overstressing, getting my front shoulder to my throw, to my target. Because as I do that, my hips are naturally going to line up. So if you see here, his hips are pretty close to all, you've always heard the belt buckle pointed at your target, or my hips pointed at my target. If I'm rolling to the left and I get my left shoulder, my front shoulder at my target, look, his hips are already there.
Right.
Because I've gotten my front shoulder at my target. That is perfect. All right. If I'm going to my right, you got to flip it. So as I'm rolling to my right, is probably going to line up pretty easy, but now I got to force to get my hips or my belt buckle pointed at my target. So I'll show you a drill that we do here that'll kind of illustrate that a little bit. And then this is something we've done a lot more of the last few years, and it's just, hey, we're not able to work forward at all. We're losing ground. Certainly don't want to make a lot of these throws, but that's the game of football where you're not working downhill at all. And, you know, depending on the level of ability of your quarterback, you may or may not want to stress this throw. But fortunately, you know, Nathan was more than capable to do this, so we needed to practice it. And it's also something, if you watch, you know, enough film, you see that you have a lot of these type throws. You know, we're here, he's not working towards the throw at all.
No, I think if you know, if anybody's watching Kansas City right now, there's a guy that does this pretty darn well. And, you know, but I think, you know, you don't need to throw the ball out of the stadium to be able to do it. I think it's a thing that, you know, that should be wrapped. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's, yeah, that guy in Kansas City, he's a tough one to emulate because he's just so amazingly talented. But yes, he is pretty good at these type of throws, no doubt. You know, and then here's one kind of in the pocket where, you know, again, we're just fading away. We catch cover zero and we throw a curl route, you know, and he's got a bot, you know, we're hopefully we've given him this experience of having a lot of guys in his face, but he's fading away and getting the ball out. Good day at OU, as many of them are, crowd-wise.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so now the next step in that is what we call pup, and now I'm going to have 3 rushers, potentially 3 rushers. So I'm going to stand behind them, and on this first one, I'm going to tell him that, you know, to run around the back, and that would force him to step up. So now instead of me standing there giving them direction, which doesn't happen in the game, the umpire doesn't stand back there and, hey, you should move this way or this way. You know, we're going to have some rush lanes that present themselves like they do in a game a little bit more. So they're just going at the back shoulder. They can swat at the ball a little bit and a small, subtle movement. And whoever your receiver is, he's looking at me. And again, I'm giving the visual stimulus. So bang, my arms go up. His arms go up. That means bang, get the ball out as soon as you're able to. There'll be times where I'll put my arms up now and they've got to make a decision. Can I get it out before I get hit? Or do I need to move in the pocket? I might be a little late, but there's no way that I could get it off without getting hit. So here, bang, just small, subtle movements forward in the pocket. All right, we feel a little bit of the rush coming this way. You know, and he's really only moved about a yard and a half. He's finding the center of the pocket as well as he can. For us, Coach Rudolph will tell you, we really stress trying to set a solid front to the pocket. Another look at just small, subtle movements. So right there, he's on the 34, slid up just a little bit. Just a yard. To let these edge rushers go by us. So great job letting that happen. Move forward, find the center of the pocket.
Get the ball out.
Okay, now we're going to have, so I'm back here and I'm saying, hey, I want you to do what you did on the last one. I want you to here and then underneath. So this would be one of those times where I want to slide to the left. Small, subtle movements. There, he slid to the left. Bought some time for a big play. And it may not be exactly, but hopefully you get a feel for what we're trying to get there. Here's our guy coming across our face. Just small, here he's stepping up as much as anything, but
No, I think, for the coaches watching, I think, all these drills are doing a great job of making your quarterback feel comfortable when he's uncomfortable. I think it's a great way to kind of look at it, and if you can make him make those throws, you're going to be in a pretty good spot, like you guys have been in for the last 3 years.
Very well put. Yeah, comfortable when when you probably should, when you're uncomfortable. Here now we just got the rush straight ahead. All right, just straight at him, slide one way or the other. One of my favorite plays of Nathan's career here, of just sliding in the pocket and just throwing a missile that goes to the house. But the rush is up the middle, two hands on the ball. Maybe turned his shoulders a little more than I'd like him to, but not enough where he couldn't come back, and he's so athletic to make that throw. But again, we've practiced that.
That's pretty, man.
Dude's a freshman. He's a good player.
That's awesome.
And then this is, where we're bringing. We call this the Tom Brady, because if you watch Tom Brady, he is really, really good at this. So the quarterbacks know if we get middle rush and edge rush, understanding the drill a little bit of what we want. And this is when I got to step forward, but you know what? It's a really, really tight window. It's really, I've got to almost turn into a running back for a second to get through the window. So bang over the ball. Now again, ball security. I've covered the ball up really well right there. And then you know what? I get through it. Pop up and make a throw, or he didn't get the indicator of the hands up. You can see I'm kind of stressing back here, to keep your hands down. All right, because these guys get into a routine sometimes of just raising their hands on their own. And bang, I didn't get hands. Well, then take off and run. And that's something you may not think about. Hey, it's move to throw, move to throw, move to throw. Again, we want dual threat guys. I'm going to move to create some more time. It might be to throw. It might also be to run. He's avoided the rush, two hands on the ball, and off we go. And here's another example. where we're moving in the pocket, okay, with a little bit of urgency. Great job of 2 hands on the ball. And then, again, I'd love to tell you, this might be a little bit of coaching right here, but from about here on, it ain't a whole lot of coaching.
No, can't coach much of that, but I love to see it.
All right, here it is again, and this is when he actually comes through it. Tom Brady. And my guys understand that when I say Tom Brady, they understand what I'm saying. Double over. You've kind of become the old fullback trying to burst through a couple tackles and making the throw. Another big play, but hey, it's hard. This was a 2-minute drive. Teams have these great DN guys. Hey, it's tough to block those guys when they know you're going to pass. We got to be able to move in the pocket and help that tackles block out. Great job, and then making the throw. And then here is a way of us kind of getting a hot. Our offense isn't a big hot route team, but it's still, and I'll show you some instances where we do have to make this kind of throw, but they know when they feel all 3 rushers that they got to get it out. And again, we're practicing that fadeaway throw you don't want to make a lot of, and you got to be smart when you do it. But there are times when you need it, so you better practice it. And here's one of those times where we're kind of sneaking the tailback out, and that is that exact throw that we just made. And it's not the first time he's done it.
On a little angle route, I like it.
And then a little different situation, but again, similar, where we're fading away from the throw that we're going to make. and also have somebody coming at us. And unfortunately, we've all been a part of these type plays where you have just kind of schemed them up and everything has worked perfectly. And your quarterback misses the throw because maybe an O-lineman gets beat or a guy gets his hands up, or, that is not an easy thing as a quarterback right here, but we've practiced it.
Yeah.
And it results in a touchdown. There's been a lot of great coaches that can come up with all this stuff, and sneaking him out. That's nothing new. But getting your guys to execute it when it's not perfect is another part of the equation.
No doubt. No doubt.
All right, now, so this is the next step, and this is a drill that honestly, I say we because I include the quarterbacks from 3 or 4 years ago when we kind of developed this drill, and we just call it a box drill. You can use bags, you can put cones here, at the corners if you want, instead of having the bags. But so we've got a box here. And it's a little bit of the drills that we've been doing, but I'm telling, hey, exaggerate your movement. I don't want you keeping your shoulders downfield. I want you just simulating the oh God, all hell is breaking loose, and I am just fighting for my life mentality, and then getting yourself ready to make a throw. So, I don't really care what he does in any of these. He can spin around. I don't really care. The only thing I'm looking for is, are we keeping two hands on the ball?
Right.
That's all I'm looking for. So here, he's doing all these different movements. And he's keeping two hands on the ball. Again, I want him eyes downfield. When those hands go up, get it out. So you can see, bang, right here, like you said, that stripe. Hopefully, he's still seeing this way a little bit.
Right.
Hands up. Nope, they're not up. Oh, God, I got to make this guy miss. And make the throw.
That a lot. I like that a lot.
And we just call it the box drill again. Soon I can go box drill. And we don't even need the box anymore. They just know, get lined up, and they know we need three rushers. They know we need a guy in the middle. They know we need somebody down here, and off we go. Now, the next time through, I do want him to stay square. So you can see he's fighting to stay square here.
Right.
Moving in the pocket. But the first, and everybody does that second one. The first one, we just kind of did because we were having issues with keeping two hands on the ball when we were really having to scramble for our life. I'm going to show you this one. Coach Rudolph is going to be happy. This one kind of broke the internet. If you notice, the big 320-pound O-lineman. Doing a little cartwheel.
Cartwheel. I like it. I like it. Look at that athleticism right there. He's going to hear about that one, I promise you.
So, we're kind of having some fun here. But we, hey, this is why we want athletic guys, because it's hard to be an O-lineman. And there's a lot of looks and all that, and we don't block this right. But here is that guy running untouched, and we fight to keep two hands on the ball and make the throw. And this play made a lot of Twitter highlights because of our O-lineman doing a somersault, but I love it because that is phenomenal right there.
That's great ball security.
That is just big time. And then, like you said, being comfortable with the uncomfortable, bang, and still making a throw that is dead perfect in between. He's protecting him from here. You can't do it much better than that by Nathan. And again, just kind of moving in the pocket might not be something we've practiced a bunch. Some unnatural movements, two hands on the ball, and now he's seeing that manager or that receiver put his hands up, and putting his hands up is the curl route coming open on the backside and making a great throw. So I think, there's some drills we all like to do that have no relevance to the game.
Yeah.
And sometimes I got to force myself to go through the season and two things is, to look at the good and, okay, is that because of a drill? But also to look at the bad as to, do I need to come up with another drill or improve a drill that I'm doing to help fix the bad? The box drill was one of those drills. Quarterback didn't have two hands on the ball, strip sack, and I said we got to do something to force the two hands on the ball. And the box drill was it, and it definitely took hold with Nathan. here's a great one. You know, we're just kind of making things happen. You know, and keeping your eyes downfield and find, you know, we run a post and an over, and they just turn this guy loose. And if we're not drilling, keeping your eyes downfield, get your eyes downfield, feel the rush, don't see the rush, then we might miss the wide open guy down the middle of the field. But phenomenal job here of, you know, I'm not a big fan of this but he is able to keep pretty good ball security, but gets the second hand on there. There we go. I like that a little better. But as much as we can, we're trying to give them this situation.
No, that's awesome. And, you know, I think anytime you can put, you know, you can drill, you know, movement and like we've seen through this video, it's so important. It really just allows your quarterback to be in a position to succeed. And you know, you obviously can't anticipate, you can't drill every blitz they're going to see, every guy that's turned loose. But, you know, if their feet understand where they need to go when there's someone in a certain position that they can make a big-time throw in a big-time game, you know, that's beautiful right there. That tears up my heartstrings right there.
There you go, man, after my own heart. Yeah, organized chaos, right? Just being at the eye of the storm and being able to be calm when you're in that situation. And you got to put your quarterback in those settings. So that's kind of some of the movement stuff. Here's kind of a going through your reads and again, throwing with your feet. So we just get in a circle. I want them to be at least 10 yards away. Sometimes I'll go ahead and give the number, but here you can see Nathan going through and giving everybody a number. All right, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and so he's going to be here moving. Here was actually 1, and this is going to be not a visual stimulus. This will be, he'll just say, you know, ball. And getting from, this is to work on going from your first read to your second read. And I just want him kind of spinning around. Two, coaching point to the guys on the outside is I don't want to, you know, say ball when he's looking right at me. But I also don't want him looking this way and say ball.
Right.
Not realistic either. You know, I'd love for it to be, if I'm going to throw it here right now, maybe let him now say ball. There, that was a good one. You know, he's really kind of here, ball. And one thing we added to it this year is we'll make 2 throws with him stationary, and then the next 3 throws we'll start running clockwise.
I like it.
So they have to go from read to read and hit someone on the move. And that came again from film, a big game for us. Where the quarterback, it was a full field read and he went left, came back to his right, and they had to try and hit a dig route coming as he was coming left to right. The dig route was going right to left on the move, and we missed it. And well, how can we get more reps of that? That's not an easy thing. You know, coming back to a stationary guy, yeah, that's not too hard. Coming to a guy on the move, so we just started, you know, hey, 1 week we might go clockwise, the next week we might be going counterclockwise. So the first 2 throws are stationary, the next 3 are on the move.
I like it.
Yeah, like that's one that's not very realistic right there. That's our equipment manager helping us out. Not the end of the world. You know, again, so the quarterback's just porting stuff out. Here we are. I forgot I had it on here. Now, on this one, we did all 5 with guys on the move.
Good cardio too.
Yeah, I like when we got enough guys that I don't have to do this. All right. And then, you know, example of going through. You know, I'm looking here, and then this would be, you know, an example of, you know, someone in that circle saying ball right here. Ball. Throw.
Oh, that's great.
You know, and again, great look at it here. His feet, he's gearing up to throw really kind of on this angle. He's going through his reads. This is like ball. And making the throw. Not as easy as he made it look right there. In fact, I'd love for it to be a little more in front, but kind of a fun drill. And what we do is we start out 18 yards down the field from the line of scrimmage, and we put a receiver on the hash, and we put a defender, and he should be about a yard or 2 in front of the 2 guys, receivers we have. We drop back and we try and use our eyes to influence the defensive back, so to speak, and complete it to one of the receivers. We just call this four-vert competition. So here, you know, the quarterback's, he's looking off. Got the DB to kind of bite. All right, so the first time he completes it on the hash, then both receivers take a step in.
Okay.
If so, like after this one's complete, we would take another step in, and we see how far we can get where this guy can't make the play. Oops, sorry.
That's all right.
You know, so here we are starting. This is the first one.
Right.
Wide. Can't make the throw, or can't make the play. Drop back, and we're trying to use our eyes. Okay. Now, yes, I want to use my eyes. I think that's something that it's, you know, I think you can overcoach, especially young quarterbacks, on using their eyes. If I'm a young quarterback, I want to look. Is that guy open throwing the ball? If not, go.
Right.
I can't use my eyes or shoulders to influence a defender at the expense of timing on the play.
Right.
That's hugely important. And young quarterbacks tend to drop back and kind of look one way or the other for too long, and then the timing of the play doesn't work, and you wonder why. Well, the timing of the play is the timing of the play. If I'm able to use my eyes to influence a defender or two, that's great. But it can't be at the expense of throwing the ball late. so much of playing quarterback is timing and ball placement. I didn't say arm strength.
Right.
I didn't say, I said timing and ball placement. Do I get the ball where it needs to be when it needs to be there? And if I got a great arm, my timing doesn't have to be quite as good, but I still have to have timing. So here's a great example. I think I got a couple really good ones here. And probably leading off, this is kind of towards the end of a series where we've been throwing it a lot, but Nate is using his eyes to get what he wants. And you can see here, he kind of, one thing I tell the quarterbacks initially, I want to read through the goalposts with big eyes to see the coverage. All right. Look through the goalpost with big eyes. And by that, I mean trying to see as much as I can, as wide a vision as I can. So he's done that. Now he is purely looking off. And he had a feeling we had hit this shot a couple times on 4 verts. And you can see from the end zone, he's looking left, and he gets this corner to jump this.
That's awesome.
That's about, that's a 4th-year senior who's played a lot of snaps right there. Here's another one. Now we got to kind of move in the pocket a little bit. Where we're kind of hitting that whole shot using our eyes. Here's a great one where we don't even have anybody running down the seam. But Nate, we get corner blitz here, and Nate holds the safety. And that's that drill. Even though there's no other receiver over here, emulate, but it's getting your back foot in the ground, getting it out quick. That's that drill that we just did. So here he's holding eyes, ball.
That's awesome, man. That's impressive.
Another one, we're going to throw an inside fade here. And at the last second, the safety drops out. Well, we're not real excited right now. But he holds him with his eyes, right, as he's dropping back foot in the ground and get it out. And he holds him just long enough that he can't get there to make the play. So, and you might go, yeah, he doesn't know that. I can promise you, he got on the phone and said, Coach, I got nervous right there when I saw him drop out. And he is looking right here for no reason other than to hold this safety the best that he can. I mean, that's old Magic Johnson on the fast break, no look.
Hey, no
Not quite
doubt.
Patrick Mahomes, but and then we do the same thing, and this is curl flat. This is curl flat. I would say this might be close to too much, in that it'd take a little bit of time. But this a little subtler, but he bang shoulder at what would be the flat route on curl flat. And taking the curl. And then sometimes you just got to get back and read it and make the throw. So here's a couple examples of that. And this is actually curl flat. So here's our curl, here's our flat. And you can see here on the end zone copy, just without it being at the expense of timing. And unfortunately, we got the goalpost in there, but you can see he turns his shoulders to the flat and comes back to the curl. And then being able to apply it to other situations, we're going to get a little speed in here. And he wants to hold this linebacker. So bang, I'll try and go in slow motion here so you can see it. But right there, you can just a little subtle, shoulders going this way, influences him just a little bit for the open window. So good stuff.
That's awesome. That is good stuff right there.
You know, and then I like, sometimes I'll tell the defender, hey, I want you to make it really, really hard on them to where they got to double clutch a little bit.
Right.
Because, you know, quarterback coach, you don't want them to double clutch. You don't want the you know, the pump. But, hey, sometimes it's going to happen. So we've got to practice those situations. You know, we kind of thought we were going to have the drive, and we don't have it. So we hit the over. All right, just a couple more here. Rapid fire. So this is kind of the RPO world. Certainly harder when you're throwing to the left. If the running back is coming this way. But same deal. Get my back foot in the ground with some energy. Get it in the ground so that I can get, you know, push off the ground so that I can get a spot or to get a ground. And we'll just, I'll show it to you one time straight through. And we call it rapid fire. Here we're just giving him a good snap every time. We'll do it other times where we'll mix up, you know, hey, a high snap, then a low snap, then a good snap, and just to mix it up. Here's the goat doing that exact throw. Bang, back foot in the ground, ball. So I you know, like I said, I think if you can use film of guys that your players are going to kind of, oh, wow, that's how he's doing it. Well, then it must be right.
Right. Doesn't happen in a bigger game than that either. So
that's right. You know, Michael Jordan's a bazillionaire because everybody wanted to wear his shoes. You know why? Well, because they're Michael Jordan's shoes. Well, why do you want to get your back foot in the ground? Well, because Tom Brady did it. Bang. Back foot in the ground. So how much can you practice that? And that's usually kind of a shorter throw, so we like to do rapid fire there just to get used to thinking fast. You know, and then here it is again to the left, a little bit tougher. Bang, back foot in the ground. Ball. Back foot in the ground, ball. And then, and I didn't have it in that example, but I will tell them, hey, on the last throw, sit on it. So maybe it's a down the field RPO and you got to squeeze it a little bit or whatever. So here's a situation where it's not a turn a double play type deal. Back foot in the ground, and then I got to sit on it. It's like a baseball player sitting on the changeup.
Right.
So, back foot in the ground, sit on it. Make the throw. Couple throwing on the runs. I think we've all done this. All right. We call it 15 by 50, so we know we're 15 yards apart. All right, and we're going to run across for us in the States, it's 53, so we round down to 50. And we're going to say, hey, bend it back. And I tell them, hey, it's 75%. So you were asking about, going to throwing on the run. Here I want to really try and exaggerate my hips at the throw. Because when I get my hips at the throw, my shoulders are naturally going to be there.
Right.
For now here, Nate, bend it back. Now, if I get my front shoulder at it, my hips are naturally going to line up. So it's my shoulders and my hips, or my shoulders and my belt buckle, and my shoulders and my belly button, whatever you want to use. But to stress go into my left shoulders, to stress go into my right, my belly button is I think will help the quarterback out.
No, absolutely.
So we're bellying it back. And again, that's at 75% speed. All right. And then we'll do it at, game speed. So now I want you sprinting. Okay. And then this is a part that we've developed. Now I don't want you to bend it back at all, because as we saw, so many of the throws you make on the run are not when the quarterback's able to come downhill. He's got to work parallel to the line of scrimmage. So we're working straight down the line of scrimmage, much more difficult throw.
Right.
And
yeah.
Same deal, 75%. And then the next time will be 100%. Here, we've all seen throws on the run, but we're not working downhill. Well, he's made that throw. Another couple here. Where we're not able to work downhill necessarily. This is a great throw on an over route. Where you can really see, hey, I'm throwing an over route, front shoulder at it. Just a great throw with, as you said, be comfortable being uncomfortable with the guy in his face.
Big time throw.
So doing his best to get front shoulder at it. All right, a couple option looks and we'll be done. So here's a great drill. If you run the option, this is it's actually an old basketball drill. We have two balls. The coaching point for the receiver, the quarterback in the middle is always face the other quarterback that has the ball, always face the other ball. So here we're pitching with our right hand.
Gotcha. Now, do you have a coaching point on the flip?
And then I'll switch. What we want to do is we say numbers to numbers. So I don't want the ball to come from, say, my belt line. I want it to come from my numbers. So I'm trying to work. I don't know if the film is going to show me, but I want to kind of work on this. I don't want it to be a ball that's on the rise when it gets to the tailback. I want it to stay right at his eye level if I can. So this is a good shot right there of numbers to numbers. that's a much easier catch for the running back.
They're having to go way up for it. Yeah.
And then thumb under is generally, thumb under. And then I've also said, hey, show 4. That gets me that flick where the ball's tumbling backwards. And then I just said switch. So now all of a sudden he's going with his left hand. And that's a pretty good look at keeping it high, numbers to numbers.
That's a great way to get reps all the way across too. I like that a lot.
It's a great drill if you kind of notice your starting quarterback going, coach, my arm's a little sore. All right, let's do 4. We call this 4 corners, where you're getting some reps done, but you're not really taxing your guys too much. And then this is 5 by 50. And we're just working on our option pitches. Again, numbers to numbers. The coaching point is, make sure you're in a good pitch relationship. So once you catch the ball, pause, let your teammate get out in front. And this is a young guy. Here you can see, bang. I don't want that right there.
You don't want that ball dipping so it starts rising back up.
Yeah, so now it's on the rise. A more difficult catch for the quarter. You can see how it. I don't like that right there. In the heat of the battle, all of a sudden that thing's on the rise, and it goes through his hands. Bad things. So, all right. Well,
man,
we'll just kind of call it a day there. I'll throw that up there. If I can help anybody, let me know. And I really appreciate you giving me all this time to talk some football.
Hey, Coach, it's been a pleasure, man. That was awesome, and I know I've learned a ton today, and I know our coaches are too. From your experience at Ohio and everywhere else, and especially working with these Canadian quarterbacks and really all the success you've had with them. I know there's going to be a lot of viewers that are going to get better from this today, and that's what this platform's about. So thank you so much.
Well, I really appreciate you having me on, and so much of that was not coaching. I'd love to take credit for a lot of that. That was the Canadian product being a special player. But I do think, we've done a good job of putting him in a lot of situations that he gets throughout the course of a game in practice. And I always tell him, hey, make sure you're practicing jump shots, not set shots.
Right.
Because you can practice things not at game speed, and all of a sudden game speed becomes really fast. And nobody practiced any harder than Nathan Rourke, and we were excited to have him. Can't wait to see what he does over in BC.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to see what happens, and can't wait to see what goes on down there with the younger brother, and I wish you guys nothing but success.
Well, again, thanks so much for having me on. Good luck to everyone, and send us your good players.
All right. All right, Coach.